Hello everyone, my name is Melissa and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am so happy to have you. Today I'm going to be doing another video of fall book recommendations. This one is going to be specifically romance books, so dark romance, cozy romance, all that in between. And also these are going to be 10 new books or book series that I did not speak about in my last video. In that video I talked about thrillers, dark academia, romance books, all of that, but these are, like I said, all new 10 books or book series. I am so excited to talk about them, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start off with the lightest, the most refreshing of the books, shall I say, and I'm gonna go ahead with the cozy romance, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. This is a book that took me a while to pick up because I had heard such very different types of reviews. One's being, oh my gosh, this is so cute, I love it. The other being, oh my gosh, this is the worst book I've ever read. Yeah, I was a little hesitant to pick this up. When I picked it up, I went in with very low expectations. Keep that in mind. When I picked this one up, I ended up really enjoying myself. I had such a fun time. This is such a cute book. Our main character, she ends up inheriting the Pumpkin Spice Cafe in this very cozy, quaint, very fall town. Basically is trying to figure out how to run a coffee shop. She's never done this before, so she takes a little bit of time to figure it out. We first meet our male main character when she hears a sound downstairs in the coffee shop from the apartment that she's living upstairs, and she runs across the farmer, a very kind of grumpy farmer who has his own, you know, tragic romance backstory, and they kind of get along from the beginning. You get this kind of mostly insta love in this book, but honestly, like, that's what I wanted when I picked this up. I knew to expect not best writing, the best tropes, but I had such a fun time. I haven't really read too many cozy small town romance books, to be honest. My genres that I prefer are usually kind of on the opposite spectrum, so reading this was very light, refreshing, and fun, and I had a really good time. So if you go in with the right expectations, I think you can really enjoy this book and, you know, maybe enjoy the rest of the series as well. I haven't gotten to them. This is the only one that I've read, but again, this was super cute and fun and just very light and easy to read. The fall atmosphere vibes, the cozy coffee shop, the fall festivals that go on in this were so much fun. I definitely enjoyed it, and I can see why so many people did enjoy it as well. Let's talk about a cozy romantasy book that I recently picked up this year, and that's Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher. This book, if you can't tell by my tabs, was so good. I didn't really know what to expect. This was my first T. Kingfisher book, and this blew my mind. I now have so many T. Kingfisher books on my shelves that I want to get to because this set the bar and it is pretty high. This book is about a young woman who inherits this house, and the family that's trying to take it away from her is basically pretty evil. She gets locked up in a room upstairs and she breaks free. She ends up getting a hold of this sword that is inside the house. When she pulls out that sword, a man appears. It's kind of like Genie in a bottle, except knight and a sword, that kind of vibe. They go on this adventure to try to get the house back. I can't remember if the family is either her family or family of the person that she inherited the house from. I can't really remember. This is so cute. You have adventure, you have that kind of magical, fantastic world, and you have a knight and a lady in distress, but it is just so fun. There's so much humor in this book. I laughed so much. This cover is absolutely stunning as well. Definitely gonna say this was more of a cover buy. Really recommend this book if you're looking for something sweet, fantastical, just a good time. This is definitely the perfect fall book to do that. Keeping in the same vein as the knighthood kind of books, I really want to talk about this dark gothic fantasy, and that's going to be The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This was a very anticipated read for me after I read The Shepherd King duology and loved it. An ongoing series. This is about a young woman who is a diviner, and she is one of 6 women who live at this like kind of monastery, cathedral, chapel place where figures come in and get their prophecy told to them. They can, you know, tell when something bad is going to happen, good, etc., etc. So this was very tough to read at some points, especially when our main character has to tell a prophecy kind of thing, and it was very horrific. Like, oh my god, I would never want to be one of these women. It sounds absolutely terrifying. But these girls start going missing one by one, and she is determined to figure out what happened to the rest of the women that she lives with. So she meets a knight that comes in to the chapel, cathedral, I don't know what to call it, and she has to ask for his help. They don't like each other, and it is definitely kind of this dislike to love type of thing situation going on. You have a sentient gargoyle, and I always am a sucker for a good sidekick in a book, so this had that. I really loved this world. It is dark, it has just so much magic in it, and I really enjoyed it. If you're looking for a book that is kind of on the darker side of the knighthood type books, this is it. The rest of these books are dark romance books, whether that be dark academia, dark fantasy, dark white shoes. These are all dark romance books. Enigma by Runix is a dark academia romance book, and I ate this book up, to be quite honest. Was this the best book ever? No, probably not. But I did enjoy myself while I was reading it, so I definitely think it's worth a good check out. It's also on Kindle Unlimited, so why the heck not? When I read Gothic, loved it, and I figured let's go ahead and start some more dark academia and check this one out. This is about a main character named Salem, whose older sister has passed away when she was attending Mortimer University. So she decides that she's going to find out what happened to her sister, along with several other students who have died under mysterious circumstances that she doesn't quite believe that these students ended up taking their own lives. So she is going to find out what happened. She gets there, she ends up catching the eye of another student who is there for graduate program. He's a TA. The guy's a little odd. Everyone has a huge crush on him. He's broody, all of that stuff. He's grumpy, so of course he's going to be our main character. There's secret societies in this that come to play. The setting itself is dark, and not gonna lie, the author did kind of repetitively use the same phrases to describe this setting over and over again, but I got the picture. It was definitely a dark academia book. The school itself has stonework. It's been around for hundreds of years. You have the creepy fog that lingers, and you know, woods that surround this place. There's also a cliff face that's where people have been jumping off to end themselves, that type of thing. So I really enjoyed our main character, to be kind of that quirky girl. The things that she enjoys are dark as well, obviously, and yeah, it was really, really good. I definitely highlighted a few lines as well, and I'm looking forward to anything else that this author does write. Fabric of Our Souls by K.M. Moranova. This book I read last year, chewed up, ate up, spit out. Wish I could reread this book again for the first time without knowing what happened the first go around. This was such a definite kind of like hard-hitting book for me personally. It deals with mental health a lot, since this is in a setting of a kind of psych ward, a very elite psych ward. Our main character has severe depression. She wakes up after an attempt to unalive herself, and needless to say, she had failed at that, since, you know, she is alive now. Her brother doesn't really know what to do with her, but he ends up sending her to an inpatient, very exclusive place to go for rehabilitation, and there's all kinds of people that attend this place. It's a very odd place because your roommate can be girls and guys, that type of thing, so that means lots of spicy scenes, if you get what I'm saying. Our main character ends up waking up, there's a male nurse, and then I'm not going to say any more about that. Definitely need to be in the right space to read this. I definitely needed to be in it. It was definitely right book, right time type of thing for me, because I do know this book would not have sat well with me if I wasn't in the right headspace to read it. I loved the friendships in this. I loved the romance in it. It did seem kind of wild, the fact, like I said, the roommates are boy-girl. I don't think that's normal, but I was here for the book when it was like that, okay? Needless to say, I don't want to get too much into this. There is another book that comes after it that's about another side character, so I don't know if I'm gonna read that one, just because I don't know. I want to, but I just don't know if I can get back into this world so soon, even though I read it last year. The Legacy of God series by Rena Kent. Of course I have to talk about this series because I feel like it is perfect fall reading. The characters are in a university setting, so you have, of course, attending school in the fall. You have very dark romances between the characters. Each book in the series follows a different couple, but these kids are legacies to the parents that were in the books before this that Rena Kent has written. I've only read 1, 2, 3 books in this series, but I do want to continue on. I loved all of them so far. I definitely think that God of Malice and God of Wrath, I believe, yes, these two are my current favorite. Obviously I have very different editions. No rhyme or reason for that. I loved God of Malice. It was so good. God of Wrath as well. I would recommend reading them in publication order. They are standalones, but there are things that happen in each of the books that pop up later on. So I did try to read like the 4th book after this one and was a little bit lost. If you don't mind and there's a certain couple that you want to read about, you can definitely read it. But anyways, these are dark romances, not secret societies, because it's not secret at all. They are part of 2 universities, and there's like these elite type, not frats, but associations at the school, and there's the American school and the British school. They are kind of at war with each other, but they all end up dating each other. I had so much fun with these. There's masked men, there are psychopaths in this one. There's different kind of kinks to each of the books, and I really enjoyed them so much. So I'm not going to tell you too much about them. Just pick them up if you love dark romance. You've probably already read or heard of this series, but if you haven't read it, I highly recommend, especially for this time of year. Another dark romance series, but make it fantasy, that I'm in the middle of is the Legacy series. So this is Reign of Shadows and Endings, and I loved this book as well. So if you are looking for something very dark but really good, this is it. It's about a girl who is a fae, and in this world you have, I forgot what they're called, like legacy, fae, and then humans. So there's fae are second-class citizens basically, and if you are picked as a source during this selection, you are basically bonded to that legacy, and their will becomes yours. You will do pretty much anything that they tell you, make you do, or what they want becomes your one. So you're basically like the slave to them. Our main character, she does not want to be a source for obvious reasons. She just wants to go home and eat a donut and be happy. Totally understandable. Needless to say, gets chosen as a source, and she has to deal with the repercussions of that. This book is definitely one of those like starter books where the world is explained, everything's getting set up, you're getting to know the characters, you're getting to figure out how they are interacting with each other. There's a lot of kind of repetitiveness in this book, but I still ate it up and I read it very quickly. The writing is just very easy to digest. The world is easy to digest, so it's not like, oh my gosh, it's a huge dark fantasy world and I'm not going to understand it. No, it was pretty easy in my opinion to read this book, and I was so excited to pick up the next book in the series because of the cliffhanger that this does end on. So I would love to continue on very soon with it. Moving on into dark why choose books, I wanted to start with the only fantasy series that I have on here, and that's the Vicious Lost Boys by Nikki St. Croix. This is very short quartet, I mean obviously, so they're like little novellas. This is a reimagining of Peter Wendy and the Lost Boys. Our main character, Wendy, she has been told about this dark Neverland place from her mother, and she doesn't think it's real, and she ends up going there and gets up to some very crazy times with all these guys, and it is thoroughly so much fun. It's dark, it's gritty, there's some very questionable circumstances. I loved it. Definitely one to pick up if you're trying to get closer to your Goodreads goal or just want to pick up something quick and short. These are just super easy and you feel like you're really accomplishing something when you read them, and I enjoyed it so much. I know that I gave several of these 5 stars. Yeah. Next book I'm going to talk about is going to be Graves by Caitlin Taylor. This is a Why Choose book. It has 2 brothers that are the main guy characters. One of them is obsessed with this girl, and he's going away to prison, so he asks his brother to watch over her while he's away, and then that brother becomes obsessed with the girl, and then of course that guy comes out of prison, and yeah, it definitely was crazy. You have stalking, you have brothers, you have just some really crazy interesting times in this book. I don't want to get too into it. It is a standalone, so if you're looking for something that's easy, one and done. Again, like I said, I do like the grittier kind of taboo romances even in my Why Choose, so yeah. Also, this cover is really cool. I like it a lot. Frozen Fate trilogy. Try saying that 20 times because I definitely can't. Hills of Shivers and Shadows is the first book by Pam Godwin. This is like take Credence but make it darker, crazier, trauma dumping, and this is the trilogy that you're gonna get. Okay, this series or trilogy was just wild. I had no idea what I was signing up for when I decided to pick up a book about abduction and getting taken into the wilds of Alaska, and you're there with your abductor and his 3 sons. I was not ready for this. It has so much happening, like, but at the same time it's very kind of slower. This book more so focuses very closely more so on like the day-to-day kind of life. Yes, there are some time jumps, but it did feel a little bit slower, but I didn't mind that. I definitely really enjoyed kind of getting to know these characters and why they were the way they were, the feelings that they had, and had to kind of understand themselves. This was so good. I highly recommend checking out every single trigger before picking this one up if you are even remotely sensitive to anything, because this has so much. But I'm not going to get too much into this because I just feel like you should just go into it after knowing that. If you need to check your triggers, check your triggers. But again, think Credence, but darker and heavier. Alrighty guys, and that is it for the romances to read in the fall. Of course, most of these are dark romances. I am just a dark romance girly through and through, and fall is the perfect time to pick some of these up. If you've read any of these or have any thoughts or opinions, I would love to chat about it and talk about it in the comments down below, and I hope you have a wonderful day and happy reading. Bye.